The unseen gift. In a quiet, picturesque town nestled between rolling hills and miles of untrodden land, there lived a man named Henry. His name had long faded from the lips of most, but those who still spoke of him did so with respect. Henry was the kind of man who spent his days in the peace of his small cottage, a humble home surrounded by the beauty of nature. His life, once rich with love and laughter, had become a silent echo of days gone by. Henry's wife, Marjorie, was the sun in his life, her warmth and light illuminating everything they touched together. They had built their life around each other. Their love was a quiet one, made up of small gestures, a shared cup of tea in the mornings, long walks through the meadow as the sun dipped behind the hills, a quiet night by the fire. But it was a love that spoke louder than words ever could. They had one child, a daughter, Lily. Lily was the joy of their life, and Henry's heart swelled every time he saw her running through the garden, her laughter like a melody that played on repeat in his mind. He and Marjorie had promised each other they would always protect her, always give her the love and guidance she needed to flourish. But as time has a way of doing, it passed by swiftly. The years flew by, and soon, Lily was grown. She left their small home, moving to the city with dreams in her eyes, hoping to build her own life. It was a painful departure, but Henry understood. It was the way of the world. Children leave their parents, and parents learn to let them go. The years went by, and soon, Marjorie fell ill. There were days when Henry could see the light slowly dimming in her eyes, and his heart broke every time he had to help her with the simplest tasks. But they both fought, stubbornly holding on to the love they had built together. And then, one cold winter morning, Marjorie passed away. Henry was devastated. He didn't know how to breathe without her by his side, how to navigate a world that had suddenly become so vast and empty. His daughter, Lily, tried to console him from afar, but the distance was too great. She was busy with her own life, her own career, and though she called, Henry could feel the growing distance. Lily promised she would visit, but as the months stretched on, that visit never came. Years passed without so much as a letter. Henry would sit in the rocking chair they had shared, his eyes closed, feeling the echoes of her absence in every room. Then one morning, a letter arrived. It was from Lily. The words were short and filled with sorrow. "Dad, I need you. I don't know where else to turn. I'm coming to see you." Henry's heart soared. His daughter was coming home. He could hardly contain his excitement. He immediately began preparing for her arrival. He dusted off the rocking chair, making sure it was just the way it had been when they used to sit together. He even decided to make her favorite dish, the hearty vegetable stew she loved so much, the one Marjorie used to make. It was a small comfort, but one he knew she would appreciate. The days before her arrival felt like an eternity, but Henry stayed hopeful. Each morning, he would look out the window, imagining the moment he would see his daughter's face again. Each night, he would lay awake, smiling through the tears, picturing their reunion. But on the day she was supposed to arrive, Henry received a phone call. It was early in the morning, and when he answered, the voice on the other end shattered everything. It was the hospital. Lily had been in a car accident. She didn't make it. The world stopped. Henry sat in his rocking chair, the letter still clutched in his hands, the smell of the cooling stew lingering in the air. His entire body trembled. His heart felt as if it had cracked in two. The grief hit him like a tidal wave. He wanted to scream, to curse the heavens, to ask why this had to happen. Why? After all these years of longing, was the universe so cruel? But the pain wasn't just from the loss of his daughter, it was the weight of regret. He had waited too long, he had hoped too much. The years of silence had created a chasm between them that could never be bridged. He hadn't been there when she needed him, and now, he could never apologize, he could never hold her again. Days blurred into weeks, and Henry's sorrow consumed him. He stopped caring about the world outside. The cottage, once filled with the laughter of a family, was now just a hollow shell. He would sit in the rocking chair, staring out the window, as time slowly passed by, each minute carrying the crushing weight of his loss. One evening, as Henry sat in the chair, feeling as if the darkness inside him would swallow him whole, a memory flashed through his mind. It was a memory of his wife, Marjorie. It was one of those quiet moments they had shared before she passed, sitting together in the evening, her soft voice speaking to him. She had told him, with a tender smile, "No matter how dark life gets, Henry, we have to remember the light. We have to carry it inside us." Henry hadn't understood the full weight of her words at the time, but now, as the darkness seemed to consume him, he realized what she had meant. Lily had carried so much light. The kindness she had inherited from her mother, her ability to bring comfort to everyone she met, was her gift to the world. Henry had always known she would change the world, but he hadn't fully realized that she had already done so in the little ways through the letters she wrote to children in need. The time she spent volunteering, the way she made people feel seen, heard, and loved. With a start, Henry reached for his phone. His fingers trembled as he dialed the number of Lily's childhood friend, Emma. Emma had been a part of their family in a way. She had been the sister Lily never had. When Emma answered, Henry barely knew how to speak. But through his tears, he managed to say, "Emma, I need you to know something. Lily was more than I ever realized. She had so much love inside her, and I know she shared it with the world." Emma, sobbing on the other end, said, "Henry, your daughter's love was like a fire. She lit up every room she entered, and she carried your light with her." And then something miraculous happened. In that moment, Henry found the strength to hold on. He realized that his daughter, in her short life, had given more love than most people could give in a lifetime. And though she was gone, her legacy would live on through the people she had touched. It would live on in the stories, the memories, the laughter, and the small acts of kindness she had shared. The love they had all built together, it wasn't gone. It was just hidden, waiting to be uncovered by those who needed it most. Henry spent the years that followed telling the story of his daughter, the girl who believed in a better world, who saw beauty in the smallest of things. He shared it with anyone who would listen, knowing that every time he told the story, he was keeping her spirit alive. And as he did, he realized that the pain of loss would never truly disappear, but it would transform. It would become a reminder of the power of love, the love that never dies, the love that lingers long after someone is gone. Henry lived the rest of his days with the quiet assurance that Lily had passed on an unseen gift, a gift that lived within him, within Emma, within everyone who had known her. And in that way, Lily would always be with him. Love, he realized, was the one thing that could never be lost. The wisdom of the unseen gift. 1. Love transcends time and space. One of the most powerful messages in this story is that love never truly dies. It may change forms, it may become distant, but it remains an unbreakable thread that connects people beyond time and space. Henry's love for his wife, Marjorie, didn't disappear when she passed. Instead, it became a memory, a guiding force that continued to shape him. Similarly, Lily's love for her father and the world didn't end with her death. It lived on in the kindness she had given to others. This wisdom teaches us that when we lose someone, they are never truly gone. Their love lingers in the way they shaped us, in the stories they left behind, in the echoes of their laughter. Love is eternal. It is not confined to the body or the present moment. 2. The importance of presence and connection. Henry spent years longing for connection, waiting for a moment that never came. His regret wasn't just losing his daughter, but the realization that he had let time slip through his fingers. The story highlights the importance of cherishing the moments we have with those we love, rather than assuming there will always be a later. In a world where people are often too busy, too distracted, or too hesitant to reach out, this lesson is a reminder. Don't wait. Say what you need to say, be present, forgive, love fully while you can. Had Henry reached out to Lily earlier, had they both made the effort to bridge the distance, they might have had more time together. But rather than drowning in regret, Henry learns from this. He chooses to tell her story, to ensure that others don't make the same mistake. He transforms his pain into wisdom, guiding others to embrace their loved ones while they still have the chance. 3. Kindness is the greatest legacy. Lily's greatest impact wasn't in wealth, fame, or achievements, it was in the love and kindness she left behind. This is a profound lesson about the things that truly matter in life. We often chase success, material possessions, or external validation, but in the end, the real measure of a life well lived is how we made others feel. The people who touched our hearts, the ones who gave us warmth on our darkest days, those are the ones we remember. Lily's unseen gift was the kindness she spread, the love she shared without expecting anything in return. Even though she was gone, her presence remained in the hearts of those she had helped. The story reminds us that the greatest thing we can leave behind is love. For pain can be transformed into purpose. Henry could have let grief consume him. He could have spent the rest of his days locked in sorrow, drowning in the past. But instead, he chooses to transform his pain into something meaningful. He tells his daughter's story, spreading the love she carried in her heart. This is one of life's deepest truths. We cannot escape suffering, but we can choose what to do with it. Grief is an inevitable part of life, but it does not have to define us. The strongest people are not those who have never known pain, but those who have learned to turn their wounds into wisdom. Henry learns that his loss, while devastating, does not have to be the end. By sharing Lily's legacy, by keeping her memory alive, he ensures that her light continues to shine. 5. The power of remembering and storytelling. At the heart of this story is the idea that we keep people alive through remembrance. As long as we speak their names, as long as we tell their stories, they never truly leave us. Many cultures around the world honor ancestors through storytelling, passing down wisdom from generation to generation. Henry does the same for Lily. His words become a bridge between the past and the future, ensuring that her kindness continues to ripple outward. This is an invitation for all of us to do the same, to honor those we've lost by carrying their lessons forward, by keeping their love alive in the way we live. The ultimate message: love is the only thing that lasts. When all is said and done, the greatest wisdom of the unseen gift is this: love is the only thing that truly endures, not money, not possessions, not status or fame. At the end of our lives, what will matter is who we loved, how we loved, and how we made others feel. This story reminds us that in a world filled with uncertainty, love is the one constant, the one force that never fades. Henry learns this in the hardest way possible, but he also learns that it is never too late to share that love with others. And in doing so, he turns his pain into something beautiful, a reminder that the people we cherish are never truly lost, as long as we keep their love alive in our hearts. Final thought. This story speaks to something deep within all of us. It reminds us of our own loved ones, of the connections we may have neglected, of the kindness we can still give. And if there is one thing we take away from Henry's journey, it is this: love while you can, speak while you have the chance. And when someone is gone, remember them not just in sorrow, but in the love they left behind. Because in the end, that love is the only thing that will remain.
Thanks for watching. Do check back at Vital Sphere